Nobody hands you a manual when you buy an electric bike, so most of the important stuff you find out the hard way, usually right after it's cost you money. The range on the box turns out to be about half of what you really get. One common charging habit is quietly killing people's batteries, and there's a cheap little part that's fine to ignore, right up until it wrecks something expensive. None of that is your fault. Nobody told you. So here are 15 things nobody tells you about electric bikes, and numbers 8 and 12 catch almost everyone. Number 1. The range on the box is fiction. That big range number on the sticker is a best case that almost never happens. It assumes a light rider, flat ground, no wind, the lowest assist setting, and a brand new battery. In the real world, plan on a bit more than half of it. If you want the honest number, look for the watt hours. That's the volts times the amp hours, and count on about 20 to 25 watt hours for every mile. So a 500 watt hour battery is really 20 to 25 miles of riding, not the 40 the box promised. Know that before you buy, and you'll never be left guessing on the side of the road. And that battery you're guessing about? It's worth a lot more than you think. Number 2. The battery is the most expensive part of the bike. People treat the battery like an accessory. It isn't. It's the single most expensive part on the whole bike, and replacing one usually runs $400 to $900. On some bikes, that's a third of what you paid. Once that sinks in, the next few tips stop sounding like chores and start sounding like money staying in your pocket. Because almost everything that kills a battery early is a habit you control. And the biggest habit of all is the way you charge it. Number 3. Charging to 100% every time is quietly hurting it. This one surprises almost everyone. Charging all the way to 100% every single time shortens your battery's life. These batteries are happiest sitting around 80 to 90% for everyday riding. Save the full charge for the days you actually need every last mile. A lot of newer chargers even have an 80% setting built in. Turn it on and forget about it. Your future self and your wallet will thank you. That takes care of the battery. The bike itself has a surprise too, and you feel it the very first time you ride. Number 4. It is not a bicycle. An electric bike looks like a bicycle, but it doesn't ride like one. It's often 2 to 3 times heavier, it carries more speed, and it takes noticeably longer to stop. New riders feel confident in about 10 minutes, and that's usually right when it bites them. So give yourself more room to brake than feels necessary, especially on wet roads, and treat it with the same respect you'd give a small motorbike. Do that, and it'll never catch you out. Respecting the bike actually starts before you buy it, with one choice you can't undo. Number 5. Where the motor sits matters more than the brand. There are 2 kinds of motor, and you can't swap one for the other down the road, so you want to choose right the first time. A hub motor sits inside the wheel. It's cheaper, quieter, and perfect for flat ground. A mid-drive sits down at the pedals and runs through your gears, so it climbs hills far better and feels more natural to ride. If you live somewhere flat, save your money and get a hub. If you've got real hills, pay for the mid-drive and you'll never regret it. Once you've picked the motor, there's a smaller part that quietly decides how the whole bike feels. Number 6. The sensor is why 2 bikes feel completely different. 2 bikes with the exact same motor can feel like different machines, and it comes down to one part called the sensor. A cadence sensor just notices that the pedals are turning, so the power comes on like a light switch, sometimes with a bit of a lurch. A torque sensor measures how hard you're actually pushing and matches it, so it feels smooth and natural, like you just got stronger legs. If you get the chance to test ride, feel for that difference. It's the thing you'll notice on every single ride. Now, this next one isn't about how the bike feels. It's about staying safe, and it's the most important tip in this whole video. Number 7. Cheap, uncertified batteries are the real fire risk. You've probably seen the scary headlines about e-bike batteries catching fire. And those stories almost always have one thing in common: a cheap, no-name battery pack or the wrong charger. A properly built battery has real safety protections inside it. So look for a UL certification when you buy, Only ever use the charger that came with your bike, and charge it while you're awake and home, on a hard surface, never on a bed or a couch. Do those few things and the risk basically disappears. Number 8 is the one almost nobody believes at first. Number 8. How you store it ages it faster than riding it. The thing that ages your battery fastest usually isn't riding it. It's how you store it. A battery left sitting completely full in a hot garage all summer or run down to empty all winter ages far faster than one you simply ride and look after. So if the bike's going to sit for a few weeks or more, don't leave the battery full or flat. Charge it to about half and keep it somewhere cool and dry indoors. Cool, dry, half full. That's the whole secret, and it can add years to a battery. If this is saving you money, take a second and subscribe, because I break this stuff down every week, and I put the full battery guide, all the checklists included, into the complete e-bike handbook, linked in the description below. Okay, back to it. Storage is one way heat and water sneak up on you. Here's another that people get wrong constantly. Number 9. Never pressure wash an electric bike. It's tempting to blast the mud off with a pressure washer. Don't. That jet of water drives straight past the seals and into the motor, the battery contacts, and the wheel bearings, which are exactly the parts that water destroys. A bucket, a bit of soapy water, a sponge, and a gentle rinse is all it ever needs. Keep the water away from the charge port and let everything dry before you plug it into charge. Cleaning it is the easy part. This next one is where people quietly waste the most money. Number 10. The chain wears out fast and takes the gears with it. On an electric bike, all that motor power runs through the chain, so it stretches and wears out faster than you'd expect. And a worn chain slowly grinds down the cassette and gears behind it, which cost a whole lot more to replace. There's a little tool called a chain wear gauge, about $12. Drop it on the chain once a month, replace the chain the moment it says so, and that one cheap part saves you a big repair bill. It's the best value tool an e-bike owner can buy. Speaking of cheap fixes that save you money, here's one that costs nothing at all. Number 11. Tire pressure is the cheapest upgrade there is. The cheapest upgrade to your whole bike is already on it, and it's free. It's the right tire pressure. Run them too soft and you get flats, sluggish range, and vague, wandering steering. The correct range is printed right there on the side of the tire. Grab a floor pump with a gauge, check them about once a week, and keep them in that range. You get better range, sharper handling, and fewer flats, all for nothing. That free range matters even more once the weather turns cold, and that's number 12. Number 12. Cold weather steals your range and can damage the battery. Cold weather quietly steals 20 to 30% of your range. The good news is that part's temporary. It comes back as soon as things warm up. But the part that actually matters is what the cold does when you charge. Charging a battery while it's freezing cold can damage it permanently. So in winter, don't charge it out in a cold garage. Carry the battery inside your warm house. Let it come up to room temperature, charge it there, and only pop it on the bike right before you head out. Weather affects where you ride. So does something most people never check until it's too late. Number 13. Your bike's class decides where you can legally ride. Electric bikes get sorted into 3 classes, 1, 2, and 3, based on how fast the motor will help you. And that class quietly decides where you're allowed to ride. A faster Class 3 bike can be banned from the exact bike paths and trails you bought the bike to enjoy. So a faster bike isn't automatically a better bike. Before you buy, check your bike's class, and check the rules for the trails and bike lanes where you actually want to ride. That one's about the law. This next one is about your own instinct working against you. Number 14. Riding in the top power mode all the time is costing you. It's tempting to ride everywhere in the highest power mode because it's fun, but it's quietly working against you. Turbo drains your range fast, and running that much power all the time makes the battery and motor run hotter, which ages them quicker. cruise in a middle setting, and save the top mode for the hills where you actually need it. You'll go farther on every charge, and the bike stays healthier for years. Which brings us to the last one, and it's the one riders most wish they'd known before they ever swung a leg over the bike. Number 15. A step-through frame is a safety feature, not a style. A step-through frame is the one with the low bar, the kind you step over instead of swinging your leg up and around the back. People write it off as a style thing, but it's really about safety. On a heavy bike, getting on and off is where a surprising number of falls and injuries actually happen. If you've got any hip, knee, or balance concern, or you just want your life to be a little easier, a step-through is one of the smartest choices you can make, and there's really no downside worth worrying about. Get these 15 right, and your bike stays safer, goes farther, and lasts for years, while everyone else is quietly wearing theirs out. If you want all of it in one place, the printable checklists, the full battery and buying guides, and the maintenance schedule, that's the complete e-bike handbook, and it's linked right below this video. And the single fastest way to wreck a battery didn't quite make this list, so I put it at the top of this one.